wait, shit.
Couch Guys Sports Podcast, episode number 153. 53. Nick Quaglia, Jared Scali, still in quarantine, still doing this BS, still doing this crap. But, you know, we got rescued this week with actually like some stuff to talk about. Last Dance. Early. When was that supposed to be released? Was it July?
June or July, yeah.
Yeah, so they moved that up to help us out during quarantine. And we're going to talk about that in the main part of the show. But it's good. It's good. There was just so much hype built around it.
If anyone watches that and doesn't think Michael Jordan is better than LeBron, like, MJ's the greatest of all time. There's just hands down no argument.
Right. And we'll talk about that too. But like and I've already seen people. I saw one guy who I knew from college who was a big time like, oh, LeBron, he would dominate Michael Jordan. He tweeted after the first night of The Last Dance, and he was like, I officially am no longer a LeBron truther.
Good.
That's
no
what
one
the
should be.
documentary is doing to people.
Because LeBron is not, and we'll talk about this, but like MJ just has more pure talent. Like he's a talented basketball player. LeBron's just a big dude.
And the competitive edge, it's a whole other dynamic. But weekly dump.
We have news for the weekly dump?
A little bit. So I've originally had The Last Dance premiered on Sunday night. People went wild over it. Main segment on tonight's show, so we're going to talk about that. It lived up to the hype, I think. In a letter to baseball operations employees on Monday, Rob Manfred said that he fully anticipates that baseball will return this season, which just because you say it doesn't mean I'm going to believe it. Massachusetts today, so we record Tuesday, April 21st. Massachusetts today declared that schools are closed for the rest of the year. So coronavirus is going to be affecting at least the school system until the end of their school year. So mid-June, I guess, to start of July. Major League Baseball, all 30 teams, StubHub, and Ticketmaster, they're all being sued. Did you know about this?
No, I didn't. Please fill me in. I actually didn't know about this.
I think this is brand new news. So they're all being sued because they are not giving refunds for the games that haven't been played. And Major League Baseball, I guess, has been instructing and making it so teams, when on the website, they're putting, if you look at a team's website right now, it'll say all the games that we've missed so far are postponed. So they're not giving the money back, from what I understand, from what I guess. So they're trying to say, oh, no, don't worry, guys. We're going to play these games. We'll figure this out. So they're getting their asses sued because there's no way, no shot in hell we are playing baseball at Fenway Park at least for
August.
a good chunk of the season. I don't even think for
September.
the entire year.
I don't even know if baseball's going to have a season, to be honest with you. Like I'm still under the impression that just baseball's not going to happen this year.
Right. So you're telling me that you can't give refunds, and you're certainly not going to play 162 games. So why can't you just give
all these games that were supposed to happen in like now and May and even June? Like those games aren't happening. It's going to be a very much condensed schedule if they do play. Just give them their money back, especially at least like April and May. Be like, all right, April, May, we know we're probably not going to have these games, so we're going to just send tickets back and we'll go from there. That's it. That's all you got to do.
All right, and they're getting their asses sued off because they're just like, you know what, guys, fuck you. I'm not giving you your money back.
Seriously. So
how do you think that you're going to get away with that?
I don't know. I don't know whoever runs those companies. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know if it's their quarantine brain going to town. They've been stuck at home so long. I don't know. It's just absolutely idiotic to think. I'm just hearing this. I had no idea. Like to think that that's actually a possibility and they want to do that is mind blowing.
At least, like, especially right now with people who are struggling with money, because there's so many people who've been laid off, been fired from their jobs, who, like Jared, for one, if you bought baseball tickets in April and you know that game is not going to be played.
I did buy tickets,
actually. Your money back by now?
I have tickets. I would love my money. I would love my money back.
You haven't gotten your money back?
Nope.
Was it for April or May?
April?
Yeah, then you should have your money back, especially for something like you got laid off. You probably would like that extra money.
Yeah, it'd be great. I bought tickets for that White Sox series.
Yeah. So, I mean, Oh, you could have seen Yohan Moncada. That would have been sick.
I did it.
That would have been
Missed that
sick.
guy.
Yohan Moncada is going to be.
They messed that up. Woo.
No, because you won a World Series.
Yeah, but they wasn't because of Benny.
Oh, that's true. You could have traded Benny.
Because they wanted Benintendi. They didn't want Moncada, the White Sox.
Yeah, that's true.
You would still have Moncada right now.
But I still like Benny. I still love Benny.
Yeah, he's a great little player. He's a great little player.
Yeah, he's good.
Not Yohan Moncada. Imagine Rafael Devers, Yohan Moncada, and Xander Bogaerts in the lineup together. 2-3-4, 3-4-5.
Oh, it's serious. You remember that first night that he came in? I think it was a West Coast trip game. I remember it was super late, and he made his debut, and Red Sox Twitter went collectively climaxing.
Yeah,
everybody was collectively.
And then you'd have him and Michael Chavis in the same lineup.
Yeah, put Michael Chavis at first base, you got your infield locked.
Dude.
But then I don't know what you do in the outfield because what, you got Jackie Bradley only?
Well, you might have been able to keep Mookie.
Maybe. Oh yeah, because you wouldn't have. Oh no, you would have had Chris Sale. I don't know, but
Dude,
you should get your money. That's what
get my money back. Right.
You should get your money back, and it's crazy. I mean, jump in on the lawsuit.
Might as well. I got tickets for June too. That's not gonna happen.
Well, at least sue their ass.
I'm pissed about that one. I got tickets for the Brewers series in June. I wanted to see the Brewers come to town.
I would love to see the Brewers come to town.
I already got tickets. That ain't happening.
Every time we talk about this sucks.
Guys,
we've got our Madden cover athlete for the 2020 season. It's Lamar Jackson. So, and I don't mean to speak this into existence. So that means one of two things. The Madden curse is going to hit you in one of two ways. One, and it didn't hit Tom Brady, but one, I don't think.
It didn't hit Patrick Mahomes either.
No.
Dude, Mahomes won the Super Bowl. Didn't he win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, but it's on and off.
Okay. Yep.
It's on and off now. So either one of two things. I'm not going to say this, not going to put this into the universe, but I think you know what I'm going to say here. Either that's option one or option two, Lamar Jackson, because there are people who still don't really believe in the guy. He could regress. He could fall back into something. I think
option one is more likely. Option one is more likely.
You don't think you never know. I believe in Lamar Jackson, but you never know. If he regressed, because he had a hell of a year last year. If he regressed, I'd be like, that kind of makes sense.
Even if he takes a little step back, it's still a really good season. It's just he just went off last year. So I don't think a regression is really a big deal. I think option one, the unspeakable truth, is probably more likely than him having a fall off year.
Lamar Jackson, Madden 2021 cover, and then back to Major League Baseball. The MLB is talking about a new hypothetical plan to get Major League Baseball back in Florida, Arizona, and Texas. So they're going to be playing in Major League, Minor League, and spring training facilities. That's the hypothetical plan. I guess it's the same thing as was it last week or 2 weeks ago when they just talked about playing in Florida and Arizona. I guess
they just added Texas.
Yeah, but you're still going to just lock these people up in hotels.
Yep, it's still a dumb plan. Just stop. Just give up on 2020. Let's move on. 2021's more realistic anyway. The NBA can come back if they'd like, because then they can just delay the schedule next year. NHL maybe. If not, we'll just give the Bruins the Stanley Cup. That's fine with me. And then go from there. Patriots might not start on time either.
I get they want to make money, but it's. I think we're at the point now with coronavirus where it's okay, you know what? Except for these morons protesting. Come on, guys. I think we're all at the point right now, though. A lot of us are, where it's okay, let's just get this thing done and over with. We're in quarantine. We're living in quarantine, guys. I mean, I don't know about these psychos who thought that living in quarantine was going to turn into this big deal. Because, I mean, all it is, we're all just lazy right now. People are wearing sweatpants all the time. I'm playing video games. I don't play video games. I'm playing video games right now.
I'm back to playing video games.
Quarantine hasn't been that bad. So, we're all at the point okay, you know what? I think I can do this for a little while longer. Let's just figure this out. But then you got these morons in different states who are protesting. Charlie Baker in his press conference today, he sounded pissed, but he was even he was basically saying thank you to the people who were talking about reopening the government, but doing it in an informed way. Not these just douchebags like that lady hanging out of her passenger side window with a sign. Who's just screaming at the nurse.
And you have people like protesting like in downtown areas, like getting together. I'm like, you're the problem. Stop. Like,
Yeah,
so it clearly is a thing, and everyone's like, oh yeah, like, it's the numbers are down. We can reopen. It's like you don't need to be social distancing. The numbers are down. Yeah, the numbers are down because we're social distancing. We're staying home. Like that's
exactly.
That's why it's going away.
Like there were people saying that this wasn't a pandemic. That's because we shut down the country, guys. If we didn't shut down the country and we kept partying,
we would have been Italy.
Kept going to work. Yes, we would have been. Well, we already have more cases than anybody else. We're also bigger, but we have more cases. And how many deaths now? Is it 3,700? A lot of deaths. Guys, this isn't a joke. What are we protesting? You guys just look stupid. But then again, all I've learned as I've gotten older is that there are a lot of dumbasses in this fucking country, man.
Anyone in Florida, look at Florida. They open their beaches. Like
opening the
beaches, Jacksonville
crazy.
beaches are open. Like, what are you doing? Like, it's Jaws all over again, only in real life. Like, why are you opening the beaches when there's actually a problem?
I don't understand why we can't just live it out for a little while longer and then try to get back to a normal life.
See, what I'm hoping is like, what blows my mind is like, places. I mean, Florida didn't close anything, but like for me, like you know this, I'm like an avid golfer. Like that's like the one thing they could have kept open if they really wanted to. But like beaches. Like that's where everyone comes together. They're like, oh, on one condition, you guys can't sunbathe. You have to just be there for exercise and leave. Okay, well, who's gonna follow that? You show the pictures of the beaches in Jacksonville.
There were umbrellas set up.
People are surfing. There's umbrellas set up. People are pulling the coolers out. Like it's summer. It's like what it is. Like people don't even care at all. It's absolutely mind blowing. Like for me, like I was pissed that like I can't go golfing. Like I think golfing's a realistic activity that we should be able to do through all this.
Because that's legit social distancing.
You can social distance on a golf course. Courses around here, at least for me, we're taking like precautions already. So like it could have been done, and they didn't really need to close everything. I'm hoping after May 4th that they reopen, give me something to do. But like other than that, why are we opening beaches? It's absolutely moronic.
I just can't believe there are people who are still trying to talk this thing down, and then there's the conspiracy theorists who are like, this is a ploy against Trump. Like this is against Donald. Like how is it? This is not against Donald Trump. There's not a pandemic because Donald Trump.
Well, you know what?
We're trying not to get Donald Trump elected. Like that's not the case. There's just a pandemic going on.
If Donald Trump wasn't an idiot, people wouldn't think that. Like if he actually handled this the right way and prepared for it and took it seriously when people told him about this in like October and November that this was probably going to happen, and he took it seriously, then no one can sit here and say that. But because our president is an absolute idiot, it's happening.
Man, we don't talk politics on this podcast, but he has not handled this well.
If anything has helped his case for not getting reelected, it's this. Like, if Democrats wanted anything to happen, like, obviously no one wants a pandemic, but, like, he's handled this terribly, and I think even Republicans at this point are going to be like, okay, he can't be our president anymore.
Oh, he has just handled this so poorly. So poorly.
Joe Biden, your next president.
I mean, potentially.
Michelle Obama, your vice president. Michelle Obama, vice president. I'd love to see that.
The betting odds right now are Michelle Obama, which is wild.
Well, he's already said he's picking a woman, so, like.
Yeah. You know what? I assumed it was going to be Amy Klobuchar.
Yeah,
I assumed it was going to be her.
I mean, she'd be the logical choice if it's not Biden. I mean, Obama. But wouldn't you just love to see Michelle Obama be the VP?
Yeah. Oh, it would be electric.
Oh,
it would be electric.
And then Mr. Obama, Barack Obama, just in the White House, just chilling, doing his thing.
Electric. All right, guys, that was the weekly dump. Guys, with the free agency period done, no live sports on TV, there is an increasing excitement around this year's NFL draft happening this Thursday. And if you're listening after Thursday, well, then guess what? You're listening after Thursday. The draft already happened, so you already know who the Patriots potentially took in the first round, unless they decided to trade out of it, which wouldn't shock me. They don't have a second-round pick this year, so they could just drop to the second round. But, guys, the draft is all about new beginnings, and our sponsors at Manscaped are here to give your balls a brand new beginning. I am talking about the ball trimmers. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped is the only men's brand dedicated to below-the-waist grooming and hygiene. There's nothing better than finding a diamond in the rough in the fifth round. The Manscaped Perfect Package 3.0 will help you find that in yourself. When you trim the hedges, guys, the tree, it just stands taller. And what that means is your penis, it'll certainly look bigger when you trim down the hedges. Guys, we've all had our accidents before here and there. I've talked about it a million times on the show. Thought you had to use scissors when I was younger. Boom, clip the nutsack. It hurt a lot. Wasn't great. But the Perfect Package 3.0 kit comes with the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0 waterproof, cordless body hair trimmer, and a ton of other liquid formulations to round out your manscaping routine. So guys, guess what? With the trimmer, it's not going to happen anymore. Zip, zip, no more accidents. And of course, guys, let's not forget about the crop preserver and anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. You already put deodorant on your armpits, right? At least you should, you disgusting animals. So why are you not putting deodorant on the smelliest part of your body? This third generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to prevent manscaping accidents. Millions of balls are about to be nick-free thanks to Manscaped's advanced skin-safe technology. Guys, subscribers get a new replacement blade, refill for your Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer delivered to your door every 3 months, making sure your trimmer always stays fresh and clean, just like your balls when you got Manscaped going on. For a limited time, subscribers get not one, but two free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag worth $39 and the patented high-performance anti-chafing Manscaped Boxer Briefs, which, by the way, I use them when I work out.
Super comfy.
Amazing. Super comfy. They're amazing. No chafing going on. I'm a big guy. I'm over 220 pounds. I got some thick-ass legs. I do not chafe in those areas. The big guys know what I'm talking about. Those areas, I got big-ass legs. They rub together. They don't chafe with these bad boys. Phenomenal. This is the perfect package for your franchise quarterback, a.k.a. your penis. Get 20% off with free shipping with the code COUCHGUY, COUCHGUY, manscaped.com. Do yourself a favor and always use the right tools for the job. Guys, listen up. This is the part where you listen. Get 20% off with free shipping with the code COUCHGUY, COUCHGUY, at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, and use promo code COUCHGUY. Again, COUCHGUY. Manscaped is the best when it comes to men's grooming. Get yourself the Joe Burrow of trimmers, the Lawnmower 3.0. And thank you once again to our friends over at Manscaped. The best.
Those undies, though, those underwears, man, oof, they're
the undies, we got it. I mean, the crop preserve. So they sent me these wipes to rub down your ball area during the middle of the
how are
day.
those? Those sound great.
Amazing.
Yeah,
the
those sound
best.
amazing.
You don't realize how good you would feel with a little midday cleanup until you get those things, until you use them. Amazing.
For those of you that are quarantining and showering midday like I am now, because no one needs to shower right when they wake up anymore, ball toner in the middle of the day. It's great stuff. Keep them nice and sharp.
A ton of stuff, guys. Manscaped. Go to their website, manscaped.com, and use promo code CouchGuy when you are checking out. All right, so this week, the big release of The Last Dance. We've been waiting for this for a while. And you watched the first episode, right? You said?
Yeah, I did.
I watched both of them. I will say this. I think the second one, which was more based around Scottie Pippen, and the first one I get it was an intro, but it didn't exactly reach the hype level for me, but I still liked it. I thought the second episode was better. So I think you'll like the second episode.
And let's be fair. I mean, I like the first one because the backstories are kind of cool. Like understanding like he was going to stay for the fourth year of college.
It's just the intro.
It's just the intro to leading up to that season. And think about how many more episodes we have. We have 3 more weeks of this? 4 more weeks of this?
I think.
So
every Sunday.
It's every Sunday for how many weeks? Like how many more episodes are there? There's 2 each week, and there's 4. There's 4 more weeks, I think. So I think it was 8 or 10 episodes total.
Yeah.
So the first 2 are only going to be the worst part. Like the meat of this is going to be in the middle.
There's going to be. I mean, Michael Jordan, when he was talking about this before it aired, he was like, people are going to think I'm an asshole after this.
I mean, already I do. Like the way they shit on Jerry Krause. Like, are you kidding me?
Well, Jerry Krause is also an asshole.
Also, I mean, I would have too, to be fair, because if they were coming after the team, like the whole beginning of the process and the idea of it being The Last Dance is because they were basically told we're breaking up the team after that last season.
Phil Jackson named the playbook after that.
Named the playback after, right? So which is awesome. That's totally Phil Jackson. That's like Zen Garden 101. You look at what the season was meant to be, I'd be a dick at him too, but like all the media points, like Jordan called out their GM like all the time. And I remember it was in the first episode when they were talking about like what will be the biggest hurdle from you guys winning your 6th title this year, and he just looked up to the GM's office at the practice facility. And I'm like, yes. Like that's all he had no holdbacks at all of what needed to happen.
So obviously there's so much binging going on right now. Like this was everybody's just watching like Netflix. If there are a couple of businesses that just have skyrocketed, I'm assuming skyrocketed during this pandemic, it's Zoom, because I never heard of Zoom before.
They also have. Zoom, I mean, they've had some security issues too, but yeah.
Yeah, actually I know somebody whose meeting got hacked while on Zoom. But nothing against Zoom. You guys want to sponsor us? We love Zoom. Throw some money at us.
Zoom. I used Zoom at the day job before I got laid off. So like, hey, I love Zoom.
Everybody's using Zoom right now. We could put the logo right there, right next to Jared's head. But Manscaped logo already on here. Our main sponsors. So the second episode though makes you hate Jerry Krause more because Scottie Pippen. Because Scottie Pippen. It's the second episode basically just talks about how Scottie Pippen was underappreciated. Scottie Pippen was going to be, although Michael said that he didn't think Scottie Pippen handled things right in that second episode, but Scottie Pippen got a contract that was 7 years, $18 million.
Dude, the contract was a joke.
Nothing.
Like MJ was paid what?
For
like
Scottie
33.
Pippen?
Yeah, it was absolutely a joke. Scottie Pippen should have been paid right next to MJ. Like Dennis Rodman made more than Scottie Pippen. Like, are you kidding me? All Dennis Rodman did was get rebounds and color his hair. Like,
so Jerry Krause is, and that was a 1991 contract, I think. So Jerry Krause is not showing any respect to Scottie Pippen, which is pissing a lot of people off. And imagine being a Chicago Bulls fan when you're watching your team dominate, and it appears, especially when your star player, the greatest of all time, is outspoken about your general manager. Imagine the hate the city must have felt for Jerry Krause at that point, because Scottie Pippen, let's imagine if a couple years ago, let's say 2 years ago, Julian Edelman, he's getting older, but he's still playing really, really well. Still one of the best in the game. And Bill Belichick might not be the best example. Let's say there was another GM making the decisions. And this guy is somewhat unlikable already. And he's telling us that he will not pay Julian Edelman. People would be pissed. Imagine being in Chicago at that point.
Well, you think about even like use Belichick as an example of coaching. Like look at the Phil Jackson example. Like Phil Jackson wanted to get paid more than any of the other coaches. We're all getting paid really well at the time, and he was winning. He wasn't getting paid well. And he wasn't getting paid well. And if it wasn't for ownership stepping in and giving that 1 year deal, he wouldn't have came back as the coach because Krause didn't want him back. Think about in your example, what if a GM that doesn't exist went to Belichick after winning that 6th Super Bowl and said, you know what, we don't want you back. Or like we're not going to pay you. We don't want you here. Like we're going to move on. We'd all revolt. It's the exact same thing in Chicago at that time. He really kind of is now too. Phil Jackson was the best coach in the league. Why is he not getting paid like that? Why is Scottie Pippen not getting paid like the second player in the league of all time?
Especially when you've got the greatest of all time again, and everybody I think at that point a lot of people knew, okay, he's going to be one of the greats, if not the greatest of all time. If your star player, who you need to win, and they even said this in the documentary, Jerry Krause doesn't have those rings if he doesn't have Michael Jordan. He needs Michael.
That's where Krause's biggest fault was. He kept saying, well, it's not one player. It's not one player. It's about a team, blah, 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 blah. No, it's not. It's about one player. When you before Michael Jordan, you had nothing. You were the laughing
Michael,
stock.
if you don't have Michael Jordan on those teams, you're not winning.
Your players were doing coke in their hotel rooms. Your 21-year-old knew better, and your adult players didn't. Like, that's where I think everyone that looks at Jerry Krause goes, well, of course you're an idiot, because Michael Jordan actually single-handedly saved the Bulls from being sold their mediocrity. Like, that's
right,
it.
And you have to keep him happy. And if Michael Jordan is sitting there at the podium and he's saying, your player should not have to make a decision if he wants to play for another coach. So you should not be if Michael Jordan says, I want this guy to be my coach. If I want Phil Jackson to be my coach, make him the coach. Pay him.
And it's funny too, because it's not even like nowadays, right? Like I love always using like the LeBron James, Tyronn Lue example in Cleveland, because he got Tyronn Lue to be his head coach. I don't think Tyronn Lue was ready to be a head coach yet. And
no, but LeBron also wanted to boss around the team.
Well, I know, and that's also generations, right? Like now, I think Michael Jordan would be ideal for now. Right, he can get the way he wants, blah, blah, blah. He's kind of in that showboating. But also Jordan's the one that started it for all these players. But Phil Jackson wasn't even like he was asking for someone on another team to come coach him. Phil Jackson was already his coach. He was already there. He just wanted him to stay. Like,
right. He just wanted some kind of continuity.
Yeah, he just wanted to keep it together because they were all doing well. And it blows my mind because, like, they all wanted Michael to stay. Why can't you just build around Michael? You get younger in other places and you still keep Scottie Pippen with him. Like, it's possible to keep that band together without completely doing a rebuild. Jerry Krause just didn't want to do it because Phil Jackson had to be involved, and he didn't get along with Phil Jackson.
So The Last Dance, it's been good so far. Second episode, definitely better than the first in my opinion, but I loved it regardless.
The biggest takeaway I took from this is literally, like, it's so comical to think about it now, but, like, how different the NBA was. And we knew that. But, like, when Jordan got drafted, all those players, like, oh, he won't last in the league. He's not 6'5". He's not 6'7". Like, he's not a wall. Like, he's not a big guy. So he's not going to be a superstar. Because think about it now, if you're 6'7", you're probably casted as not going to be good in the NBA anymore because no one plays like that anymore. Like, MJ would have been, like, touted as, like, this, oh my God, he's only 6'2", like, blah, blah, blah. He can play all four positions, blah, blah, blah. Whereas back then, like, if you weren't 7 foot tall, they thought that you weren't going to be a superstar in the league because that's what the NBA was built around.
Right, and he was 6'6". Like, it's like not like he was a small dude.
But he just wasn't a tree. And
he had to fill out too.
Exactly. And, like, even think about it. Like, when you look at where he was drafted third of the Bulls, like, if it was nowadays, he wouldn't have gone to the Bulls. He would have gone second even because the Blazers would have taken him even though they already had Clyde Drexler. Like, back then, they cared so much about positions that Clyde Drexler kept his spot and they didn't take Jordan because they played the same position. Nowadays, they would have taken Jordan.
Yeah. And we talked about this too before the weekly dump. There are LeBron truthers who are now jumping over the Michael Jordan bandwagon. And after just watching that, what it's always going to be an argument who is more talented, right? But what should give Michael Jordan the edge is the competitiveness. Could you imagine what game was that? I don't know why I'm drawing a blank here. What game was it when LeBron left with a cramp?
Oh God, was he in Cleveland or Miami? This was Miami, wasn't it?
It might have been, but he left the game with a cramp in the postseason, right? It was the postseason.
It was when KG and Pierce were still together, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So I think it was Miami.
Michael Jordan would have never done. Somebody made a comment, and I don't remember who it was. Somebody was like, if Michael Jordan broke his leg, especially in the postseason, he's not leaving that game. So that's what separates these two is the competitiveness. Also, Michael Jordan, as you saw, somebody else said today too. So again, we record Tuesday. Somebody else said today on Twitter that I saw a quote that LeBron would put up 90 against the 86 Celtics. They would slap the shit out of him, and he would leave. He wouldn't even be able to play.
Do people not realize how aggressive that generation was? Like
right.
Arm bars, like just tackling on the court that weren't flagrant fouls. Now, look at LeBron's game. He bitches every time he gets love tapped on the head and wants it to be a flagrant foul. Like, the games are very different. I think MJ is really the only player from those generations that probably would translate really well to now. Like, I think he could play in either one and probably be the greatest of all time regardless. But you look at the differences between MJ and LeBron. You talk about the competitiveness. Look at in the first part of the 2 hours we saw on Sunday about the McDonald's things over in France when they used to do that. Jordan went over there by himself. Pippen was hurt. He didn't go. Rodman was holding out for money or something like that. Jordan was the only one out of those three to go over. He played every game, barely came out. Where if LeBron was like that, would LeBron have even gone? Like, would LeBron have played every game? No, he would have sat out. But they even said it. MJ's mentality was there are people in the stands that want to see Michael Jordan play. They've never seen him play. And he played every game over there in an exhibition France championship that like it was his last game and like he was playing in a playoff push because he knew that he was that kind of figure. LeBron wouldn't have done that. LeBron would play 5 minutes and come off the court. LeBron wouldn't go. Like, that's the difference.
And as this goes on over the next 4 or 5 weeks,
I can't wait.
More and more people are going to be switching over to the Michael Jordan side. They're going to understand that Michael Jordan, LeBron is great. Nobody's disputing that. He's the second greatest of all time.
I say he's probably the second best of all time. Second.
Yeah.
100%.
I'll give him. Yes, I will give him second.
He's not MJ.
All right. Something else that happened this week, other than the mice that I had. I woke up in the middle of the night the other night with mice in the room.
Oh.
A mouse. Mm-hmm. We knew about this little bitch. We knew him. I'd say 2 weeks ago now. Amanda gets out of bed. She walks to the living room. Something scurries by her feet. We're like, okay, there's mice in here. Great. So we set up little poison traps. And this little guy, 2 a.m, and I'm 2 nights ago, I'm sleeping. I'm waking up in the middle of the night, whatever, having a tough time staying asleep. But I wake up at like 2 a.m, and I hear a little bag just poof. And I was like, what the fuck was that? So I get up and I look around because I can hear some rummaging around. I'm looking around at 2 a.m, and I don't see him. So I go back to bed. And then I hear him again. I was like, oh, definitely a fucking mouse. So I get up and I find this little guy in the bottom of our recycling bag.
Love it. He's savaging around. I love it. Let's go.
He's going to steal some of my flavored water.
He wants the leftovers.
I didn't kill him. Although I just saw another mouse like a half hour before we started the show, and it looked just like him. So if this bastard came back, I should have killed him. The son of a bitch.
100% should have killed him. I don't know why you didn't.
Well, because I walked a pretty far, 2 a.m. I'm back in the woods behind the house with a bag, and I put it facing out, and I let him run out. Didn't want to kill him, so I went back out the bag in the morning. He was gone. So if this son of a bitch, when I was being kind, if he came back in, like, now I'm going to be pissed. Now it's war, pal. I tried to let you live, but now it's war. All right?
Well, you were generous. You let him go, and now he's taking advantage. He's going to come back. He's like, well, I'm just going to get what I need, and then he'll put me back. He'll take me back home after. You're too nice.
How do you kill a mouse?
Gotta kill him.
I can step on him.
I mean, if he was in the bag, you just step on him.
I don't want to do that. Ugh.
Well, that's your fault then. Just deal with it.
All right, new Patriots uniforms. Like them, hate them.
Ugh. Okay, I'm split. I love the blues because we've seen them, right?
Yes,
like
everybody likes the blues.
Love the blues. I don't like the whites. I just don't like them. Whites
Uh,
are awful. Now,
Yeah.
I will say this. I saw them initially like in the pictures they posted, and then I saw players started putting them out. Like Stephon Gilmore had it on his dining room, full uniform. Love his sneakers were probably the best part of his ensemble. Sneakers are fire. He was wearing Nikes. I liked it a little better seeing it on him than the picture, but I don't know why they bothered changing the uniforms. Like, I don't get it. I think the biggest thing is that they want to bring back those red uniforms, the Patriot uniforms, which sounds like they're on track of doing that down the road when the rule changes. But why did you change? You guys have won. It's literally what the Bucks did. You guys are championship uniforms, all this stuff. You guys built a legacy around these uniforms. I'm gonna be pissed if we find out that's literally just because Brady left, so they wanted to start new. Like, there was no reason to do this.
There were rumors. Like, there were rumors that it was going to be close to the Color Rush uniforms, which they basically are the Color Rush uniforms. My problem with the white uniform is the shoulder pads are so annoying because the stripe on the shoulder pads doesn't even look like it belongs. It looks like they took colorful duct tape and threw it on the shoulder.
Slapped it on. Yeah, it's gross. They're absolutely disgusting. And, like,
doesn't even look like it belongs.
I kind of agree with Lou Merloni. Like, Lou Merloni tweeted this out with the picture and basically said, like, that's it. It's over. They're ruining it. Like, they're never going to win in these uniforms. Eventually, they'll realize they have to go back to the other uniforms, and they will. I totally agree. Like, I think this is like their rebuilding uniform, and then when they start to win again, they're going to go back to the other ones. Like, these are a joke. Now, do I think they might have done these if Brady stayed? I don't know. Would we be as mad about these uniforms if Brady was still here? I don't know.
Well, here's my thing with Twitter.
Still, I don't like them.
No matter what. Except the Chargers uniform. So the Chargers also unveiled the uniform today. They look pretty good. People seem to like them. But
love them.
For the most part, no matter what, they could be the greatest uniforms of all time. They could be the hottest uniforms ever. Twitter will still be like, this is the uniform that you're giving the Patriots? This is what... But people will freak out no matter what. So people aren't going to like them. Give us some time. I don't hate them. I like the blues a lot. I don't hate them. The white is what I have a problem with. It's pukey. It's gross.
Oh, it's awful. Okay, but I thought you liked them both. I'm happy we're on the same page because the white uniforms are gross.
So to go back to the helmet thing, though, the problem with the NFL rule right now is you can't change helmets through the year. So the Patriots have the silver helmet, so that means they can't wear the reds because the reds come with the white helmet with the old Pat Patriot logo on the side.
And they could, and to be fair to the rule, they could wear the red uniforms. They just can't wear the helmet. It would look terrible. They will never do it.
It would look gross.
But they could wear the red uniforms and not the helmet, but it would look awful and that's not the point of the uniform.
Right. And I saw some sweet mock-ups that had a white helmet included on the Patriots regular uniform. They couldn't. I don't know why they couldn't do it. They should have done it. If you're changing things up, change it up.
They could have got really fun with it. Like, don't get me wrong. I like the uniforms they've been winning in, like since they made the change from those royal blues, and I love the royal blues too. To be honest, I was actually hoping they bring them back, but
I knew there was no shot they were bringing them back.
But they weren't going to. The uniforms they've been wearing with Brady, I love them. They're going to be associated with this dynasty forever. But I'm all for a change if you're going to fucking just change it. But you basically went to the color rush uniforms, which people were already kind of 50-50 on anyway, and then went to, instead of just being all white with the pants, you kept the pants blue and made the white uniform, which looks putrid. Like, if you're going to change it, just change it.
Right. Like, they went half in on it.
Yeah, they went half in. Like, and then, maybe next year they change them again. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if these only last a couple years.
Although, you know what thought does make me enjoy the jerseys more.
What?
And listen, don't take this. I don't want people to take this the wrong way because I've been pro Jared Stidham. But the thought of Tua Tagovailoa, is that how you pronounce it? I can never pronounce it.
He's just Tua. He's Tua.
Tua in a Patriots uniform.
He's not coming here. He's not coming here. What do they have? Okay, Nick, you're the Patriots guy. You do roundtables. You do all of this. In what world do they have enough to trade up to get him?
They don't. Unless they're trading draft picks. And unless Bill Belichick slaps Matt Patricia on the back and goes, hey, buddy, here's the thing. We need a quarterback. You know that. I know that. We need a quarterback.
Of course we do.
I
love Stidham, but we need someone else.
Year. Here's the first pick. Here's the first round pick this year. Here's our first round pick next year. Give us that number 3 pick. We'll take Tua. We've got Tua.
Is Detroit 3? Detroit's 3, right?
Detroit's the number 3.
So, I mean, that's a nice thing with Patricia. That's a nice in there. And now if Tua slides, I know where are the 49ers picking because there have been talks
13. I was just going to say
that.
This is the Peter King theory.
Yeah, the Peter King theory is 13 with the 49ers, which would be nice, right? And if Tua falls that far, they don't need him. So it could be a place for the Patriots to trade up and not give up as much. It could be a Jordan Love trade up. It could be a Herbert trade up if they both slip. So, 13 is a sweet spot, I think, for the Patriots to trade up to. 3 is the Matt Patricia, we love you. Come on, man. Let's do it. That would be that's the only reason why I think 3 is a possibility is because it's Matty P.
If I had a choice and you could just do it and we knew the Patriots had the capital to do it. If I had the choice between Tua and Jared Stidham, you got to go Tua. Guys,
I'm taking Stidham. I'm taking Stidham, dude. Tua's too small.
Tua, people said that about Drew Brees. People have said that in the past.
Isn't he smaller? Isn't he smaller than Brees?
Tua, probably.
Yeah.
But Tua is so goddamn talented.
But see, okay, if you do that, if you bring Tua in, say your hypothetical works out, you trade up and get him at 3 or 13, does he play right away? Or do you let it be a real competition?
You let it be a real competition. And this is actually something, so you brought up the Patriots roundtables. This is what we kind of talked about this on the show this week. Mm-hmm. Then you make it a competition because right now, who's pushing Jared Stidham? I know there's the talk that, Brian Hoyer could be the starter.
Okay. No, Brian Hoyer's not pushing Jared Stidham. No. They said that to Brian Hoyer to get him to come back here. That's it. They said, we'll give you a chance.
I think they're just saying that to keep Jared Stidham on his toes. To make Jared Stidham.
If Hoyer thinks he's going to actually get a chance to start over Stidham now, you're stupid. We're in rebuild mode. We're going to see what the kid we got to see what the kid has.
Bring somebody in to push him, and you know what? Take the best of the two. Trade off somebody else. If they're both really good, you just have really good trade capital now.
Dude, even if it's not Tua, because I don't think you don't trade up to get Tua and then trade him. That's not happening. But Herbert's an option, right? Love's an option. Those two, Jake Fromm is an option to bring in, who I've loved forever. I've loved Jake Fromm here. So there's other options at quarterback further down the draft too, and I think they're gonna pick somebody. They're taking a quarterback this year. It's just a matter of if they want to do that first or fill other needs because they have holes, Nick. You know that. They're not just a quarterback hole away from winning.
Yeah.
They have issues, and
they gotta figure things out on defense.
Yeah, they have to figure out. I would almost rather them do that because you have Stidham and then take a fly on a quarterback later.
Or a tight end. Listen,
I want Thaddeus Moss. I still want Moss.
If you get a good shot at Tua, it's tough to say no. And it would be so against the Patriots' character to do it. The Patriots do not do that stuff.
Yeah, but
they would not trade up to take a premier quarterback usually. But then again, you've had Tom Brady for all these years.
And you had Bledsoe before that.
Character. Huh?
Yeah, so you had Bledsoe before that. You had Brady. And for me, the only reason why I could see Belichick doing it is because now you want to win without Brady while Brady's still in the league. You got to do it now. Brady's only got 3 more years left max, right? There's no way I think it's only a year or 2 left and then he's done. So I look at that situation.
It's not a 2-year deal right in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and I guarantee he probably retires after that. So you look at Belichick. If he wants to win while Brady's still in the league, he will eventually. I think Belichick has a longer shelf life left in the league than Brady does, obviously. I think if Belichick wants to win while Brady's still here and prove it out while Brady's still playing, trading up to get Tua is the ideal way to do it because you're getting someone
Tua
that
is
can
6'1". So he's actually an inch taller than Drew Brees.
Really?
Yeah, and Jalen Hurts, who I like Jalen Hurts too, and he's somebody I wouldn't be totally bummed if they got.
Would you rather Jake Fromm or
Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts.
I think I like Jalen Hurts. I'm a big fan of Jalen Hurts.
Well, what he did, yeah.
Out of all these guys, man, Tua. Oh my God. Hey, do you know? So Tua is a nickname. Do you know what Tua's real full name is?
I don't want to know.
It is. Let me count the letters in this thing.
Manawinui? Is it
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 letters in his first name.
Let's go. Is that a Patriots uniform? Let's go.
Oh my! I can't even try to pronounce this.
Do you think his last name would fit on a Patriots uniform, or would they just put Tua?
His last name's not even that long. It's just Tagovailoa.
Yeah, but the Patriots uniforms are so like narrow. Like the stripes are fucking huge.
What? Yeah. No, I know. Tagovailoa. Yeah, it's not that long. But Tua, man, I
will say though, the mock-ups though of him in the older Patriots uniform, the one we've had, looked good. There's some out there, and
oh man, Tua.
I mean, I would love it. Like, don't get me wrong, if you can get him and it's not an arm and a leg, and you still give Stidham a chance, like I wouldn't hate Tua here, because worst case it doesn't work out. But like, there's other needs like that they could fill and still get something decent. Like this draft is pretty deep with quarterbacks, to be honest.
Yeah, and they can get somebody even if you don't want to go after Tua, and that's where the uncharacteristic Patriot pick would come into play, because there are so many other picks that are more value or that have better value than Tua. Especially Tua had such a nasty hip injury. Like hip injuries are some of the worst injuries that you can get in sports. So having that in his history, that part is scary. But guys, he's just so damn talented. So damn talented.
If you don't take him, the Dolphins probably get him. So like,
right.
If you don't trade up to 3, he's probably not going to be there at 13. Like you're trading up to 13 for what is it, Jordan Love, right? Or Herbert. Like those are the two that you're probably getting at 13 if you trade up. To 13.
I also just don't see them taking a quarterback in the first round. I don't. But
unless
honestly,
you're going up for Tua, that's the only.
Right. Every single year, we have these draft conversations going into the NFL draft, and you know what happens every single year?
They trade down like 6 fifth-round picks.
Yes, none of us can guess what the Patriots are doing.
You know what's going to happen,
Nobody ever knows what Bill Belichick's doing.
If they don't trade Joe Thuney, then you know they're trading 23 for like 6 other picks. There's no other way. If they don't get something for Thuney, if they actually try to keep Thuney, which I want them to, I don't want them to trade him. But if they don't trade him for picks, they're going to take one and turn into a couple seconds. Because Belichick values 2 second-rounders more than a first-round pick at 23. Like,
by the time we have our next show, I would love to be talking about Tua in a Patriots uniform. Oh man, that would be beautiful. This part of the show is recorded hours after we finished up the regular part of the show. But major news today, tight end, you might have heard of him before, Robert Gronkowski, really good tight end, played for the Patriots for years. Coming out of retirement, a lot of news started swirling, and shout out to Leroy Insider, the dog, from Twitter. He's the one who called this. I think was it last week when he said there's a lot of wild rumors.
It was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, a lot of wild rumors going around that Gronk was potentially coming back, and it was to play with Tom Brady and the Bucs. So obviously with that, the only way Gronk can come back and play with Tom Brady is if the Patriots trade him, because the Patriots had the rights to trade him. So essentially, that's what happened. Rob Gronkowski, breaking news from today, traded. So this podcast is going to be released on Wednesday. So happened on Tuesday. Rob Gronkowski traded away. And I got to tell you, man, I'm pissed about the return. The Patriots and Bucs, this is from Ian Rappaport. The Patriots and the Bucs have agreed to terms on a trade. Tampa gets Rob Gronkowski and a 7th rounder in exchange for a 4th rounder, sources say. So not only did the Patriots give up Gronkowski, but they also gave up a 7th round pick just to get a 4th in return.
Why do you give up the
for the greatest tight end of all time?
Yeah, and like a lot of people have been swirling around like, hey, you traded a WWE star for a pick. Like that's okay. Like yeah, that's cool. Like in the grand scheme of things, yeah, he's retired. You got something for a dude that didn't want to play for you. And you know what though? I think the Patriots had the leverage. Like why not get more?
Right.
If you're the Patriots,
I think Bruce Arians would have pulled the trigger in a second.
Yeah, if you're the Patriots, you go, you know what, Rob?
Probably not the GM.
Like if you want to come back and play, you can play for us, right? Like you don't have to play for Tom. Like if you're the Patriots, you go to Bruce Arians and go, hey, Bruce, like we can just figure out a way to keep him and have him be on the books and make him pissed off. Like that's fine. We deserve to be. We can get a little more here. Like they should have got a second rounder or a third rounder, or I wouldn't say necessarily trading up. I don't know about swapping first. I would have loved that. I don't know if they would have gone for that, but like something better than a 4th round pick is ridiculous. Should have been happening.
Or at least, like, even if you want to drop it down to a 5th round pick and you need a tight end, they have a very athletic and a lot of potential in a tight end, O.J. Howard. I don't know why he's not part of this deal. Like, you've got Gronk coming in now to Tampa Bay. Great. What about O.J. Howard?
And, like, they already said they're going to trade him. They want to trade him. They don't want him there. Like, and now
yes, there have been rumors about that for a long time.
And now they have Gronk. So, like, 2 things in my head. One, why isn't he in this deal? Maybe he comes in a different deal later. Or on draft day, or 2, why? I mean, for me, this might point to him just being released. Like if the Bucks just might go, okay, we'll release him, and you can deal with him, and you can figure it out. Like that might be part of it. So
that
like,
would
maybe,
be nice.
Like if OJ Howard gets released after all this and doesn't get traded, and then the Patriots just grab him, like I consider that part of the trade, and that's a win. But that has to happen, or I'm just confused.
And Tampa Bay is going to be damn good, and they already had electric receivers with Godwin, with Evans, but you throw Gronk in the mix. And honestly, like, let's not fucking act like Gronk was anything special in his last season, right? We talked about Gronk falling off. Yeah, he was useless. So who knows if he's even going to be good when he comes back? But this pisses me off about Gronk. This is annoying. He's been annoying since the second that he dropped retirement. As soon as he decided to retire, it was, I might be coming back, guys. Oh, WWE. I got so gronked out. I got sick of the dancing. I got sick of the partying. And now you decided to come out of retirement, but do you not want Bill Belichick to work you hard? So you're going to go to Tampa Bay where Bruce Arians is going to let you do whatever you want? I think it's lame, and I think it's weak.
Well, that shows exactly what last year was for. Like he retired because he
because
didn't want to
Bill
Belichick. Like if last year, if he wasn't on the Patriots and he had another coach and he could have come back and with Brady, he would have done that. Like last year was strictly I'm retiring because I don't want to play for Belichick. And then now that Brady's leaving, he's well, I'll play with Brady. Sure, whatever, I'll come back. And he's healthy. He's been out for a year. All these things are now kind of coming into fruition. Where look, there's no guarantee the Patriots are going to win. I mean, the Bucks are going to win. Like there's no guarantee there because you're going them to NFC South, which is now stacked beyond belief. But he doesn't want to play for Belichick. It just throws a lot on Belichick of like. He had a trade for Gronk like 2 years ago with Detroit. And Gronk said, well, I'm only playing with Brady, so, like, F you, essentially. Like, you're not trading me. So, for me, I look at it and go, Belichick was ahead of this. Belichick wanted to trade Brady. He had Jimmy G. He wanted to trade Gronk. He was way ahead of this. And so, like, people are trying to blame Belichick for all this. Can't we put any blame on Kraft? Like, at all? Like, Belichick saw this coming from a mile away, like, 3-4 years ago. And he was prepared for it. He had Garoppolo in place, which I would have loved Garoppolo to be here, and he also had a plan to trade away Gronk for a first. And now you have
I have no animosity. Yeah, I've got no animosity towards Bill Belichick for this because you're right. Bill tried to stop this stuff from happening. Bill had trade set up. He had the next guy in line, and it might have sacrificed the Super Bowl, but he had plans for the long-term future. Now we're stuck wondering if Jarrett Stidham is going to be a good quarterback when you had Jimmy Garoppolo, who, for all we know, I mean, he was in the goddamn Super Bowl this year. I think I hate that Gronk was kind of threw a hissy fit and was like, I'm not going to play for Bill Belichick, so trade me. I'll come out of retirement, trade me to Tampa Bay, where I'm not going to have any rules put on me. I think it's annoying. I think it sucks, but Bill tried to set this thing up long term.
Yeah,
he tried.
Because
but he got cock blocked.
That's the thing. And now the Patriots are going to be, I won't say the laughing stock, not going to be terrible, but now how much flexibility does do they give Belichick? Like, is he allowed to have 1, 2, 3 bad seasons if he can't figure this out on the fly? Because at the end of it, you don't have Brady, you don't have Gronk, and you don't have a really success plan to that. So now you got to figure it out on the fly without being bad. And yeah, Belichick, I think, can pull it off, but he was already pulling it off. He was pulling the strings to figure out the next 10, 15 years while Brady and Gronk were still playing, winning Super Bowls, and it would have been a seamless transition. And now, all out of nowhere, Gronk's coming back, which we kind of weren't surprised by because he's been teasing it since he retired. And now he's going to go play with Brady again, which has been so annoying. Like, all this, Gronk looks terrible. Gronk looks awful. Last year, he took forever, and then he decided, you know what, like, I don't want to play because of my health. Well, you know what? It was probably because
he screwed the Patriots at the draft.
It wasn't your health. It wasn't your health, Gronk. It was your contract. They weren't giving you more money, so you said, screw it. I'm going to blame my knee. I'm going to blame my health. And then now all of a sudden is super healthy. Can his body take it, though? Like, is he going to be okay to play? He wasn't great in that last season. Yeah, because he's not going to be worked that hard in Tampa Bay. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't think the Tampa Bay Bucks are going to be as good as people think. Now, I'll watch them. I want them. I want Brady to succeed, but it's going to be a difficult division for them to win.
Now that this happened, I want the Patriots to be better, much better than the Bucks. I've completely changed my tune. I'm pissed that Gronk is being the way that he's being. I am so annoyed that he just doesn't want to work with Bill Belichick anymore. I don't know if you've heard about this, but Bill Belichick's the greatest coach of all time. Sorry, he knows how to win football. He might work you a little hard, but you play football to win football games.
And what helps this, I think,
that's what he does.
And the one hope I have for the culture and the franchise moving forward is that if Belichick's here, Brady and Gronk aren't here, which clearly they were complaining about all this stuff when they were here behind the scenes to players. And so now you have the McCourties, you have Slater, you have all these guys who are bought in, Edelman, and now Belichick can go back to being the guy and leading the charge and putting that work in without players behind the scenes going like, what the fuck? Like, why am I not getting special treatment? There's players now that could reset what Belichick's ways are. And if that's the case, then this team can be good long term. But I think the rest of the people that are going to be on this Patriots roster have to buy into the Patriot way or they're screwed.
All right. Rob Gronkowski officially traded. Gronk has made his NFL return, but it won't be with the New England Patriots. Traded to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And now that is the end. This is the second time that I'm doing this closeout. The end of the Couch Guy Sports Podcast, episode number 153. Guys, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Couch Guy Sports. Also, the podcast on Twitter at Couch Guy Podcast. Follow me on Twitter at Nick Quag, Jared _Scali. Rate and subscribe on iTunes. And also, guys, manscaped.com. We talked about them earlier. They've been awesome to us. They've been awesome to the people. We've had a bunch of people use the promo code. Everybody's been happy and satisfied. They've got amazing products. Guys, go to manscaped.com. Use promo code Couch Guy at checkout. That is COUCHGUY. Again, Nick Quaglia, Jared Scali. Guys, we'll be back next week with episode number 154. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening.
Oh, wait, shit.